Hello student, Jai Swaminarayan. Today we continue with chapter number 2. In that our topic is image classification and analysis. A human analyst attempting to classify the features in an image uses the elements of the visual interpretation to identify the homogeneous group of the pixels which represent the various features or land cover classes of interest. Digital image classification uses the spectral information represented by the digital numbers in one or more spectral bands and attempting to classify each individual pixel based on this spectral information. This type of classification is termed as spectral pattern recognition. In either case, the objective is to assign all the pixels in the image to particular classes or themes. That means water, coniferous forest, and deciduous forest, corn, wheat, etc. The resulting classified image is comprised of a mosaic of pixels, each of which belongs to a particular theme and is essentially a thematic map of the original image. When talking about the classes, we need to distinguish between the information classes and spectral classes. Information classes are those categories of interest that the analyst is actually trying to identify the imaginary, such as different kind of crops, different forest types, tree species, etc., different geologic units or rock types, etc. Spectral classes are group of the pixels that are uniform with respect to their brightness values in the different spectral channels of the data. The objective is to match the spectral classes in the data to the information classes of the interest. Rarely is there a simple one-to-one match between these two types of classes. Rather, unique spectral classes may appear which do not necessarily correspond to any information class of particular use or interest to the analyst. Alternatively, a broad information class may contain a number of spectral subclasses with unique spectral variations. Using the forest example, spectral subclasses may be due to the variation in the age, species, then density, perhaps as a result of shadowing or of variation in the scene illumination. It is the analyst's job to decide on the utility of the different spectral classes and their correspondence to the usual information classes. Common classification procedures can be broken down into two broad subdivisions based on the method used. Supervised classification, unsupervised classification. In supervised classification, the analyst identifies in the imaginary homogeneous representative samples of the different surface or cover type of interest. These samples are referred to as training areas. The selection of the appropriate training areas is based on the analyzed familiarity with the geological area, the knowledge of the actual surface cover types present in the image. Thus, the analyst is supervising the categorization of a set of specific classes. The numerical information in all the spectral bands for the pixels comprising these areas are used to train the computer to recognize spectrally similar areas for each class. The computer uses a special program or algorithm to determine the numerical signatures for each training class. Once the computer has determined the signatures for each class, Each pixel in the image is compared to this signature and labeled as a class it most closely resembles digitally. Thus, in a supervised classification, we are first identifying the information classes which are then used to determine the spectral classes which represent them. Class identification, the spectral classes B, C, 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 unsupervised classification. In essence, reserves the supervised classification process. The spectral classes are grouped first based solely on the numerical information in the data and are then matched by the analyzed to information classes. Programs called the clustering algorithms are used to determine the natural grouping or the structures in the data. Usually, the analyze specifies how many groups or clusters are to be looked for the data. In addition to specifying the desired number of the classes, the analyst may also specify the parameters related to the separation distance among the clusters and the variation within each cluster. The final result of the iterative clustering process may result in some cluster that the analyst will want to subsequently combine and clusters that should be broken down further, each of these requiring a further application of the clustering algorithm. Thus, the unsupervised classification is not completely without human intervention. However, it does not start with a predetermined set of the classes as in a supervised classification. Data integration and analysis. In the early days of the analog remote sensing, when only the remote sensing data source are aerial photography, the capability for the integration of the data from the different sources was limited. Today, with the most data available in the digital format from a wide array of the sensors, data integration is a common method used for the interpretation and analysis. पहले के टाइम में क्या था, हम एरियल फोटोग्रामेट्री यूज़ करते थे, उसकी वजह से हमें जो जितना भी डेटा चाहिए ओके तो वो नहीं मिलता था. अभी रिमोट सेंसिंग की वजह से आप क्या कर सकते हैं, डिफरेंट इमेजेस खींच के फिर उस पर से डेटा कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. ओके by using the softwares. Data integration fundamentally involves the combining or merging of the data from the multiple sources in an effort to extract better and more information. This may include the data that are multi-temporal, multi-resolution, multi-sensor और multi-data type in the nature. That means आप अलग अलग सोर्स में से डेटा कंबाइन करके उसको इंटीग्रेट करके जो भी आपको डेटा चाहिए ओके रिजल्ट चाहिए वो आपको मिलेगा. ओके जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए. मल्टी temporal data integration has already alluded to in section when we discussed image subtraction. Imaginary collected at different times is integrated to identify the area of the change. Multi-temporal change detection can be achieved with the simple methods such as this or by other more complex approaches such as multiple classification, comparison or classification using the integrated multi-temporal data sets. Multi-resolution data merging is useful for a variety of the application. The merging of the data of a higher spatial resolution with data of lower resolution can significantly sharpen the spatial detail in the image and enhance the discrimination of the features. Spot data are well situated to this approach as the 10-meter panchromatic data can be easily merged with 20-meter multispectral data. Additionally, the multispectral data serves to retain good spectral resolution while The panchromatic data provides the improved spectral resolution. Data from the different sensors may also be merged, bringing in the concept of the multi-sensor data fusion. An excellent example of this technique is the combination of the multi-spectral optical data with the radar imagery. These two diverse spectral representation of the surface can provide complementary information. The spectral data provides the spectral This two diverse spectral representation of the surface can provide the complementary information. The optical data provide detailed spectral information using for the discriminating between the surface cover types, while the radar imagery highlights the structural detail in the image. दैट मीन्स ऑप्टिकल डेटा क्या प्रोवाइड करता है, तो सरफेस कवर टाइप्स कौन सा है, ओके. स्पेक्ट्रल इंफॉर्मेशन यूजफुल फॉर डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग बिटवीन द सरफेस कवर टाइप्स, ओके. सरफेस कवर के कौन कौन से टाइप्स है वो, और रडार इमेजनरी क्या हाईलाइट करता है, स्ट्रक्चरल डिटेल्स इन द इमेज. Application of the multi-sensor data integration generally require that the data be geometrically registered either to each other or to a common geographic coordinate system or a map base. This also allows other ancillary data sources to be integrated with the remote sensing data. For example, elevation data in digital form called the digital elevation or digital terrain models may be combined with the remote sensing data for a variety of the purposes. DEMS or DTMS may be useful in image classification as effects due to the terrain and slope variability can be corrected, potentially increasing the accuracy of the resultant classification. DEMS and DEMS and DTMS are also useful for generating three-dimensional perspective view by draping remote sensing imagery over the elevation data. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो आपको 3-dimensional perspective view मिला है, okay, enhancing the visualization of the area image. Combining the data of the different types and from different sources, such as we have described about in the pinnacle of the data integration and analysis, in a digital environment where all the data sources are geometrically registered to a common geographic base, and the potential for the information extraction is extremely wide. This is concept for analysis within a digital geographical information system database. Any data source which can be referenced spatially can be used in this type of environment. A dam is just one example of this kind of data. Other example could include the digital maps of the soil type, land cover classes, forest species, road networks, and many other depending upon the application. The results from the classification of a remote sensing data set in the map format could also be used in the GIS as another data source to update the existing map data. That means आपको कोई भी मैप अपडेट करना हो तो आपको क्या करना पड़ता है, रिमोट सेंसिंग डेटा का यूज़ करना पड़ता है by combining with GIS. Okay. In essence, by analyzing diverse data sets together, it is possible to extract the better and more accurate information in a synergetic manner than by using a single data. आपको एक सिंगल डेटा से इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिलेगा, आपको डेटा चाहिए तो सभी डेटा कंबाइन करके एक इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगा, ओके. तो वो उससे वो आपको GIS रिमोट सेंसिंग दोनों कंबाइन करके आपको रिजल्ट बेटर मिलता है. ओके, देर आर ए माइट्रेड ऑफ और रिमोट सेंसिंग डेटा भी आप कंबाइन करोगे तो आपको अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलेगा. ओके, तो आपको रिमोट सेंसिंग डेटा आपको कंबाइन करना है. कंबाइन करके आपको जो भी इमेज मिलती है, ओके, उस पे से आपको डेटा मिलेगा. ओके, there are a myriad of potential applications and analysis possible for many applications. In the next and final chapter, we will look at example of various application of the remote sensing data may involving the integration of the data from the different sources. Students, अभी थोड़ा हम रिवीजन कर लेते हैं. Applications we learn in the section on the sensor which was designed with the specific purposes. With optical sensors, the design focuses on the spectral bands to be collected. With the radar imaging, the incidence angle and microwave band used plays an important role in defining which application the sensor is best suited. Each application itself has specific demands for the spectral resolution, temporal resolution. To view the spectral resolution refers to the width or range of each spectral band being recorded. As an example, ये सब हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे, बट एप्लीकेशन कौन कौन सी है वो देख लेते हैं. इन Agriculture plays a dominant role in economics of both developed and undeveloped countries. Whether the agriculture represents a substantial trading industry for an economically strong country or simply substance for the hungry, overpopulated one, it plays a significant role in almost every nation. The production of the food is important to everyone, and producing food in a cost effective manner is the goal of every farmer, large scale farm manager, or regional agricultural agency. A farmer needs to be informed to be efficient, and that includes having the knowledge and information products to forge a viable strategy for farming operation. That means आपको फार्मिंग क्रॉप्स अच्छे ग्रो करने हैं तो आपको सब आइडिया होना चाहिए कि फॉर एग्जांपल डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ क्रॉप है तो उसकी वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट डिफरेंट होती है. अलग अलग क्रॉप के लिए इरिगेशन मेथड्स अलग अलग है. फॉरो इरिगेशन है, बेसिंग इरिगेशन है, ओके, देन फ्लड इरिगेशन है, ओके, अलग देन स्प्रिंकलर इरिगेशन है, ड्रिप इरिगेशन है. तो ये सब का भी नॉलेज होना चाहिए. और फॉर एग्जांपल ये टाइप के क्रॉप मुझे प्रिपेयर करना है और ये टाइप का क्रॉप ग्रो करना है तो डिफरेंट फार्मिंग मेथड्स होती है. ओके, और फॉर एग्जांपल इट आल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन द एरिया, it also depends on the water requirements of different types of crops, soil condition, वो सब भी देखना होता है. A farmer needs to be informed to be efficient, and that includes having the knowledge and information products to forge a viable strategy for farming operation. These tools will help him understand the health of his crop, extent of infestation or stress damage or potential yield, soil conditions. वो ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन हमें किस पे से मिलेगी? रिमोट सेंसिंग डेटा पे से मिलेगी. फॉर एग्जांपल कोई पर्टिकुलर एरिया है तो पर्टिकुलर एरिया में कोई किस टाइप की सॉइल है, वहाँ पे टोपोग्राफी कैसी है, वहाँ पे वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट, सरफेस वाटर कितना अवेलेबल है, ग्राउंड वाटर अवेलेबल कितना है. ओके, देन वहाँ पे अकॉर्डिंग टू सॉइल टाइप हम कौन सा क्रॉप्स ग्रो कर सकते हैं. ओके, वो सब हमें इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो ये रिमोट सेंसिंग पे से मिल सकता है. Commodity brokers are also very interested in how well farms are producing, because इकोनॉमिकली कोई भी कंट्री होता है वो कैसे डेवलप होता है उसका, हमारी बात करें तो इंडिया का मेन जो भी हमारा डेवलपमेंट है वो डिपेंड्स ऑन द मेनली डिपेंड्स ऑन द क्या बोलते हैं उसको, फार्मिंग ऑपरेशंस। और जो भी प्रोडक्शन होता है वहाँ पे हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं। ओके, क्रॉप्स जो भी ग्रो किया है वो वहाँ बाहर एक्सपोर्ट होता है। ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल कॉटन की बात करें तो कॉटन है, बहुत सारे ऐसे क्रॉप्स है जो हम यहाँ से क्रॉप्स कॉटन है तो वो बाहर हम उसके उससे जो कपड़े बनते हैं वो एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं। तो इट्स डिपेंड्स ऑन द क्रॉप टाइप, कितना यील्ड मिलेगा, क्वालिटी क्वांटिटी वाइज वो सब हमें इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो रिमोट सेंसिंग पे से मिल सकता है। और फॉर एग्जांपल कोई इम्प्रूवमेंट चाहिए, फॉर एग्जांपल सॉइल टाइप ये है तो हम कितना कितना हम किस प्रकार का हम क्रॉप ग्रो करें जिससे हमें ऑप्टिमम यील्ड मिले। ओके, क्वालिटी वाइज क्वांटिटी वाइज वो भी देखना होता है कि क्वांटिटी में ज़्यादा मिले, क्वालिटी में अच्छा मिले। ओके, तो वो सब हमारा कंट्री का डेवलपमेंट में बेसिकली किस पे है, एग्रीकल्चर पे है। तो इसीलिए हमें रिमोट सेंसिंग डेटा ये सब हमें इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड करता है। Satellite and airborne images are used as mapping tools to classify the crops, examine their health, viability, monitor farming practices. Agricultural applications of remote sensing include the following: the crop type classification, crop condition assessment, then crop yield estimation, mapping of the soil characteristics, mapping of the soil management practice, compliance monitoring, that means farming practices. Okay, thank you.